What's up, guys? ODST General back again with some more Operation Trebuchet. I know I said that from week to week basis I wanted to do these uplinks. Sadly, this week there isn't one. However, there is a new update though. Version 0.12 is out. And it's got some pretty cool stuff and some stuff that kind of sucks in it. So they've added a couple new things. The first thing they've added is the DMR, which this is not. And my helmet disappeared. But the DMR is right here. It still uses the battle rifle preview image, but clearly it is the DMR. It does have a working ammo counter. In the preview images, you may have noticed that the scope on it used the Halo 4 texture for the UNSC that has been changed to the pre-Halo 4 UNSC logo. This is a single shot only weapon. And if you guys were paying attention here, you may have noticed that something's not quite right with this. Not necessarily this weapon, but when we were in Personal Armory. It's been changed so that any Operation Trebuchet weapon can now only use Operation Trebuchet scopes. Now, this is obviously that sucks. I don't know if you could use this in the last patch though, but this is hilarious, and this makes it okay in my book. Just this massive sniper scope on the DMR is just the funniest thing I've ever seen. Well, maybe not the funniest thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely up there. You know, hey, if you want the greatest DMR ever, here you go. Still works, you know. But that's a really cool addition. The DMR has been something I was hoping to see for a while. I'm actually surprised it wasn't one of the first weapons added even before the battle rifle, just because, you know, it's the nature of the DMR obviously makes it a very suitable weapon to Arma. Up next is something that was supposed to be included in the last patch but didn't make it in, and that is the Mongoose. And as we scroll away, and Mongoose comes in a few flavors. The Mongoose is obviously just a... Oh, there we go. Is obviously just a retextured ATV. It's got the UNSC logo in a couple places on it. And then, you know, the designation of it. You know, it's cool, I guess. It is essentially just a retextured quad bike. But, hey, you know what? That's essentially what the Mongoose is. So I can live with that. Obviously, I would like to see a custom model in the future. I can't remember what the Halo 4 variant looked like, but obviously it is different from the version seen in other Halo games. They've added the magnet function to the Pelican. That was supposed to be in the last patch here, but it did not get added in. And they added in another static wreck model here for the Pelican as well. So we're going to scroll down to Objects UNSC. Pelican wreck number 3. So this is the new wreck here. It is an upside down Pelican when one of its wings were torn off. Ramp is still up. For comparison, here's the other ones. Scroll down. Think this one's my favorite. This just seems the best. Okay, so what did they fix? Cannot spawn Operation Trebuchet objects in Zeus. That one was also supposed to have been fixed in the last patch, but was not properly fixed. It is, in this case, now fixed. As you guys can see, we don't want that one. You can now add objects in Zeus that you weren't able to add for a while. That looks better with the ODST logo from there. There we go. So that's nice to have that ability. Say here's a small town, rebels are going against a USC recruiting center. Go stop them. Go shoot them in the face or whatever. Obviously, like I already showed, all the Operation Trebuchet weapons are now only compatible with the Operation Trebuchet scopes. Warthog handling has been changed again. So I haven't really admittedly played a huge amount of Operation Trebuchet since the conversion to from the Era Dance Insurrection to Operation Trebuchet, but my experience with the Warthog last night did make it kind of felt really wobbly. I guess the patch was actually delayed. It was supposed to be out yesterday, but was delayed till today to fix that. Obviously, that tight turn with the Warthog rolled it. Oh, you can flip the vehicle. I didn't. That's interesting. Don't know if that was added in by the dev team or not. So we're gonna get out of here. Removed base units in Zeus. So I don't know what they mean base units. I'm assuming they meant like NATO and stuff, but they're all still in, so I'm not really sure. Warthog flip easily on short turns. That's a known bug. So, we just displayed that there. The JetNet shadow is bugged, so that's the civilian vehicle. Bull static Pelican Rex are missing shadows. There's actually 3. And DMR is too shiny. Which, I guess, I don't know. I think it's fine. Certain parts of it are a bit shiny. I guess compared to everything else it is. So that's pretty much everything in the update. It was a pretty small update, but considering we just had one, that's to be expected. So I haven't. Okay, there we go. There's the attached vehicle. So let's test this out. Keep in mind, if you guys watch any of my other videos or some of my recent rescue pilot thing, I'm not a great pilot, but bear with me here. We're gonna take this for a spin. So one of the negative side effects, obviously, is the fact that there is no physics with it, and it is clearly very buggy with the forward thrusters engaged. So obviously, if you're carrying vehicles, probably suggest not doing that. Get rid of that little string. I tried hooking it, and it didn't see the hooks come out. I didn't realize it was the same thing. So we're going to disengage forward thrusters, activate the air brakes. We're going to say this is our drop-off location, and we're going to see how well we can just drop this off while flying. We got UNSC troops on the ground. Excellent, plugged up the camera. Well, there it is in one piece. I don't know how well you guys can see that on your screens, but it's just right behind the right wing there. I'm trying to kind of pinch it in there so you guys can maybe see a little bit better. But it did land in one piece, at least from what it looks like up here. So that's good. So, yeah, it's really awesome to have that in. I'm really looking forward to playing on some of the public servers. And that will segue into, of course, the usual weekly thing in which we do talk about this week's progress in both the Call of the Prophets mod and, of course, Operation Trebuchet itself. So if you guys will excuse me for a moment here, we're going to switch over and we'll get this started on the other end. And we're back. Okay, guys, so, like I said, this week has been pretty slow for, any Operation Trebuchet or Call of the Prophets news. Now, luckily I double-checked before I went and decided to start putting pictures in just to see if I missed anything. And, actually yesterday, since the last time I checked, they put in an update for the Call of the Prophets mod, which I'll get into after we cover Operation Trebuchet like usual. Really, there's only one thing in Operation Trebuchet that didn't get covered, with the version 0.12 out, and that's the M247 high poly model is completely finished. It's still untextured, but here it is. It's still pretty it's not basic, but it's still obviously it's not complete. But that's really all there is for Operation Trebuchet. It does look really good. Like I said in the past, I am very excited to see this gun in the game. Hopefully we'll see it, attached to like the rear of the Pelican, into like the gun bay for like a gunner or something to be on. That would be really awesome. Switching gears, we've of course got Call of the Prophets here, and it's obviously not quite as fast in progress as Operation Trebuchet is. It's one guy working pretty much alone. There is two guys, but one guy's been busy with work. So what we have here is the energy sword, of course. It has been retextured since, I believe, version 0.11. I think this texture was released like right after I put out the last video, I want to say. So I've been sitting on this for like a week. So forgive me if I did upload it in the last video, I just cannot remember. A little bit better looking than the previous version. I do think it could look a little bit more energy based. Up next we have the plasma pistol. Now there's going to be 3 pictures here. The final one's the current version. However, these other 2 versions are basically kind of the founder of the Call of the Prophets mod trying to work his way through texturing the plasma pistol, because he's not really textured before. This is kind of his first attempt at it. He's kind of feeling his way around it with the exception, like I said, suggestions from the community, basically what it should look like. This is the kind of second iteration of it. It's got some hexagons and stuff. I don't know if you guys can tell that on your computer, but the purple has some hexagons. It's all purple in this version. Obviously, there's some changes, and then this version, there's the silver is back on the handles. You got the purple hexagons, and then of course the like green charging area, if you want to call it that, where the plasma comes out. But this one's definitely a lot better looking. It could still use some work. It probably a little bit bluer, as was suggested by some other community members, but still looking really good. That's really all we got, though, for Operation Trebuchet news and Call of the Prophets news. There hasn't been much this week compared to the normal rate at which they put out, but that's understandable given that they've been busy working on a hotfix to, basically make up for some of the stuff that was supposed to be in the last patch but didn't get put through. So I'm looking to know, guys, is what sort of weapons would you like to see added to the mod, or extra features, vehicles, whatever? Personally, I'd love to see the M6J pistol added in, since that's never actually been shown like a canon version of it. In fact, there isn't really any artwork. I found like one little thing of it. I think that'd be cool, or maybe like the flamethrower would be a really great addition to the mod. But I'm curious what you guys think. What would you guys like to see added to Operation Trebuchet? Alright, I would like to thank you guys all for tuning in, like always. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. Alright, and you guys have a good one.